From haircuts demanding too much attention,
I had to direct his haircut,
to Rebecca Ferguson being shunned by her co-stars,
It's not that they don't let you in, they just don't let you in.
making Dune was all laughs and drama behind the scenes. What was the biggest challenges Denis Villeneuve faced during the production? Was it translating the epic tome to the screen? Not quite.
to deal and master with Timothee's hair. It's alive. And I had to direct Timothée, and I had to direct his haircut.
Timothée wasn't the only actor who had a weird experience on the set. Rebecca Ferguson had no idea what her character's alien voice was supposed to sound like, so she started making Donald Duck sounds and hoped for the best. And Denis was happy with it. At least they figured Rebecca and Denis figured it out in the end. You could even say that they quacked the case. That being said, Dune hasn't been an easy experience for any of the actors involved. And no, I'm not talking about them having to fight giant sandworms in blistering heat. Nah, their biggest challenge was figuring out how to pronounce the film's title.
I would say Dune.
Dune?
In French we said dune, and in English I said dune.
I think Dune.
Now watch Jason Momoa duck the question. I guess this debate will continue for years to come. Anyway, while Jason might not know how to pronounce the film's title, he was born to play Duncan, Idaho. I mean, if you need someone to play a legendary warrior, Jason is the guy to call. Denis Villeneuve knew that from the get-go too, which is why the actor didn't have to audition. The director actually called the action star while he was on top of a mountain shooting parts for Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. At first, Jason thought it was a joke, but he rushed down the mountain anyway and met with Denis on FaceTime. And the rest is history.
I've never been chosen for anything, especially to be, he's wanted to do it his whole life.
The same can't be said about Dave Bautista, though. He insisted on fighting for his role the old-fashioned way, even though he's been buds with Denis since Blade Runner 2049.
I don't want to be that guy. Like, I don't want to, hey, Denis is our part, and, I never wanted to be that guy.
Fortunately, Denis was already 2 steps ahead of the former WWE superstar and offered him a big part anyway. And while Dave's Harkonnen character might be the embodiment of pure evil, the actor's a sweetheart. So much so, he got a little emotional when Denis offered him such a significant part in his dream project.
For him to offer me such, an integral part of this film, it's just, for me, it was a personal statement that, I can't purchase that type of emotion.
Still, emotions running high didn't stop the cast from having a good time. Heck, Timothée Chalamet was basically like a walking jukebox. Thanks to him, the Dune set was full of jams by artists like T-Pain, the Spice Girls, and Celine Dion. They even revisited the High School Musical soundtrack.
Down, 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 down.
Timothy's colleagues didn't complain though. Everyone loves some breaking free, so naturally the cast had some dressing room dance parties.
So he definitely started with the tunes. I hosted in my dressing room, and then we had a few people attending our little party.
Tim and Zendaya even managed to convince Javier Bardem to stop by and bust a move. Here's what he had to say about it.
I had a dance moment with Zendaya and Timothée and some other people in his trailer, yes.
Think about that, man. He had a dancing moment with Timothée and Zendaya.
Unfortunately, not all of their co-stars were invited to the dance party.
I'd like to have one of those in my lifetime. I didn't have that.
It's a good job they didn't invite Oscar Isaacs to take part either. Ain't nobody beating that dude in a dance-off. Oscar wasn't left out of the festivities, though. Come to think of it, he really hit it off with Timothée. And these days, they're basically like family.
In the film, Timothée Chalamet is your son. He's my little boy.
It's hilarious,
He's my little boy. Little baby boy.
How did you guys bond? You and
Just would hold him a lot.
In order to make their on-screen personas more believable, Isaac treated his younger co-star like a son, and Timothée played along with it.
I can't just be like, I'm your dad.
Of course not.
So he's got to treat me like that, and it's that old adage, from theater school where it's like the king doesn't show the audience who the king is, it's the court.
Speaking of great dads, let's talk about Jason Momoa. In an interview with Nerdist, the hairy hunk revealed how important Dune has been to his actual family.
A lot of things I did for my son in that film, like I'm doing these things with Timothée, like he learned Kali, so I used that for the film, and there's just a lot of intimate moments for my kids.
The movie was emotional for Jason's children, but seeing their dad in action has turned them into massive Dune dorks.
It's their favorite movie. Now they're 100% love Dune.
Dune certainly strengthened some familial bonds, and it also led to some of the actors making new BFFs.
Zendaya's a friend for life.
Same.
You know, we got along great on set, and I'm counting my lucky stars that I got a friend in this crazy industry that I can count on. And
Aw, ain't that sweet? Let's hope it lasts forever. But just how well do Timothée and Zendaya know each other? See for yourself.
their biggest celebrity crush, easy, Tom Holland.
The biggest celebrity crush. Oh man, I don't actually know. Maybe that's a secret on purpose.
Maybe they don't know all of the facts about each other yet, but it's clear they love hanging out. Some actors felt like outsiders on the Dune set, though. According to Rebecca Ferguson, she felt like she was intruding whenever she tried to hang out with another pair of BFFs on the set. For Rebecca, it felt like being back in high school and having to deal with cliques. And while they weren't like the gang and Mean Girls, they did make the actress feel insignificant.
I don't feel like mentioning names, but when Oscar Isaac and Josh Brolin did this,
Yes.
it made me feel this big.
Rebecca recalled how the bros were so inseparable that she even had to carry her own apple box around with her. And she used to try and drive a literal wedge between them so they could be separated. Her efforts were futile. However, Rebecca found a way to bond with her castmates eventually, all thanks to a simple yet effective method.
I created a group chat, and now we send family pictures. High five.
The Dune cast will most certainly be seeing each other again for the sequel, but one of Rebecca's co-stars might not be looking forward to bumping into her. It might even get a little bit awkward between them. Here's why.
Jason Momoa owes me money.
Really?
Yeah, what is this about?
I don't know.
God almighty.
Stars.
Stars, ridiculous.
We're sure he's good for it, but it ain't a good idea to be in debt to Lady Jessica.